Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on here and talk about sort of some metaphysical stuff as far as like dreams and how they relate to reality and intertwine and stuff. And I've talked about this before on this channel before with like a dream I had about a girl and she died and blah blah blah, and then it sort of mixed into reality and things sort of lined up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not exactly, but a little too much. So once I had this dream, and I think it was maybe, it doesn't even matter, but it was like 2017, 2016. I had this dream that I found myself magically, you know, in 1951. I was in 1951. I was in like a soda shop or a diner, and I was dancing with this really pretty girl, and she was so sweet and so nice, and she was sort of like this blonde, nice girl, and we were just like dancing and just having a good time, just like chilling together and getting along and everything and talking, and all of a sudden something came over me, and I just thought, my God, where am I? I'm not in the right time, am I? What is this? You know, because you could tell it was the 50s. So I say to this girl, and I see her face right in front of me. I'm like, what year is it? And she was like, oh, what? I was like, seriously, what is the year? She was like, 1951, silly. And I was like, I started to panic real bad. Real bad. And then I heard this voice in the back of me say, don't you even let on that you are from another time. Don't you even try it. And it was a little bit scary. And I was like, So I went over, I walked past her. I went over to this jukebox. I started trying to see like what songs were on there, just to like figure out maybe if it could prove what time I was in. I didn't know any of the artists' songs, nothing. Uh, you think you're gonna know in 1951? You think you know who the artists are? Like, oh, Chuck Berry. No, you don't know anybody that's gonna be on this jukebox. I didn't know anybody. Nothing. It was like random ass fucking shit. I had no idea what any of this music was. Nothing. And all of a sudden, I just kind of like, there's a wipe, a mind wipe, and I just remember going over to this diner employee, and he's like making the sundaes, making the stuff, the ice creams and stuff, and shakes and malts, and we go over there and we just like watch him make all of our like malts and floats and all this awesome stuff, and it's delicious, and he just does such a good job. He's got the like diner like white hat on and everything, and it's just cool. But that's where it stops. But your mind sort of makes a match sometimes when it comes to things, and I skip forward just a little bit, maybe a year, maybe not even, and I'm at my father's house, and my grandmother, not the grandmother I talked about in the last video, but this is my father's mother, not my mother's mother. Different. This is my father's mother. Her name is Lois. And if you saw pictures of her when she was younger, she's so pretty. Seriously, like so gorgeous. Amazing. And seriously, like 1950s people, they were like really good looking actually. They were like really, really, really good looking. Um, just, they were. If you look at them, you're like, wow, they look like pretty handsome or pretty beautiful. But yeah, my grandma definitely was. And she, before she died, she had dementia. And I mean, note this, like, I thought it was really weird that she and my grandfather had both gotten dementia around the same time. Same time. What? That says to me there's something wrong. And I feel there was something wrong with the soil because they were They were farmers. I feel like there was something wrong with the soil. That's a side point. But why did they get it at the same time? Odd. Anyway, my grandma, I was never really close to her or anything when I was growing up. I was her first grandchild, her first joy of a grandchild, but and I was born a girl, right? And she knew me as a girl and stuff, so it's weird. But like, I transitioned when I was 27, and I don't even know if we had much to do with each other when I was transitioning as male. But my grandma was quite old fashioned. She was quite 1950s, quite smack dab in the 1950s. And, one day my father had to get together with some of his siblings, my aunts and uncles, and my grandma was going to be there. And at the time, she was living in a home. Her, whatchamacallit, Alzheimer's, dementia was, getting kind of advanced. And, although she was kind of there, she kind of wasn't. Because she thought she was 18 years old or 19 years old. And I looked quite young back then. When I was first transitioning, it was, what was it, like 2016, 2017, something like that. I probably looked about 20 years old or something. I look pretty young. I mean, look at me now. I'm 39. I look pretty young. And and my grandma had no clue who I was. Oh my gosh, she had no clue. She thought, but she liked talking to me. This young man that looked pretty decent that was talking to her, and she thought maybe this was a young man that she was seeing. Maybe this was a young date because she thought she was like 18, 19 years old. She thought this was a young man she was seeing and they were out and stuff, like having fun. And we started talking about stuff and going in deep about a couple things, and she started to get kind of verklempt. She started to get a little emotional about a couple things I was talking about, and maybe I shouldn't have gone there, probably shouldn't have. I didn't know anything about people with Alzheimer's or dementia. I didn't know what you were supposed to talk about and what you shouldn't talk about. I just was like kind of having an emotional moment with my grandma. And I don't know. She thought I was some like 20-year-old man that was come to take her out or whatever, and she said to me like, "Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere else. Let's get out of here." And I'm thinking, my God, does she know that I am her granddaughter from like birth? Like she doesn't know. Nope, she doesn't know. She doesn't know who I am. And my older aunt, my oldest aunt, had to intervene and be like, "All right, that's enough. We've had enough here." But it's like my grandma was like, "Oh, you're coming to get me out of here. You're coming to save me. Let's go. Let's get out of here." I just thought that was weird. Like I kind of found a correlation between and back in the day, my grandma was what she would call ash blonde. So I'm like, is this some Back to the Future type shit? Like my grandma and me? What? Like I don't know, but I just I just and the more I watch 1950s like videos, like they're not propaganda videos, but they're like educational videos or whatever, the more I'm like, that doesn't even seem like a bad idea. Like that actually seems proper. Like they're talking about like manners and this and that and how to control your emotions. I'm like, that actually sounds pretty decent. That sounds logical. It sounds good. You know? So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. But hey grandma, if you're listening from heaven, what was that all about?